Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. I hope you're doing well today. Yesterday I was not able to streaming like I was telling you on Wednesday. But I hope that you have done a good job here with the price action. That it was kind of tricky, honestly. It was kind of tricky because yesterday everybody was waiting for Trump to say something at 10 a.m. I knew that Trump was speaking at 10 a.m., but it might got delayed. I don't know why. We just started the run at 11. And honestly, if I were yesterday on stream, I would have done probably nothing since the price action from 9:30 to 10:50, 11 didn't give us much to work with. Yeah, but it was quite a run to the upside as soon as Trump has spoken. So uh, with that run, we took out previous day high, um, previous previous week high as well. But then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we rejected those levels and came down um, and started to range and price have been ranging for the entire Asia session, London session, and eventually here in the morning session as soon as we open at 8:30. So right now price is stuck in between previous day high and previous day low, having some buy side liquidity and some sell side liquidity here down below. It's always it's trading inside a daily for value gap as well. It's like trapped here inside a hourly for value gap as well, in between and walks. So this is some congested area here. Prices stuck in between all these levels, slightly in a premium right now. If we take a measure of the range of the previous day, we can see that it's a bit above equilibrium, so it's kind of in a premium right now. But it's hard to frame something when price is this way. It's kind of ranging. If we take a look at the 4 hour time frame here, it's kind of messy, but I will zoom in here. And we'll probably take out the drawings as well, just to have a clear, yeah, just to have a clear side of it. So as you can see, we started to range yesterday. The previous day yesterday was a kind of an inside day as well. So I will probably expect something like a continuation of this range. The previous 4 hour candle was already taken, the low already taken as well. So it's kind of hard to frame anything when price is stuck in between a range. But as we look at the daily, on the daily, we still have a gap here, which we can eventually try to fulfill here. But we already took 50% of the previous day wick as well. So eventually buy side targets for today's action might be met already. But I'm kind of neutral today. I cannot frame any bias, honestly, since price is stuck, and this candle here tells you a lot about price action for today's action. This is the market warning you. Okay, I will be a savage today. This is a 40 handle movement in about 2 minutes, which is a lot, especially at 7:25 in the morning. I couldn't find any reason for this to happen. I don't know if Trump said anything, but I guess Trump is sleeping right now. It might right now, not right now. He might be sleeping at at this time. I don't know honestly what really happened here. Um, but yeah, it's kind of a it's kind of a warning for you guys. If you want to engage with the market, I would probably wait for something uh, clear to frame before taking any positions. But yeah, if you ask me what you would like to see, Miguel, what do you would like to see before entering some kind of a position? Well, if I zoom out here, price rejected the previous week high, came into a discount here. Um, it left previous day low intact, uh, then kind of supported here at equilibrium. I really would like to see some kind of a stretch to the upside, taking out these highs here, and then eventually a comeback to the downside, uh, trying to reach for previous day low. Honestly, this is what I would like to see from price. Um, but I still believe that we are as well bullish because uh, the higher time frames tell me that we are still bullish. We are still in a bullish order flow. Um, so we might eventually face something like price coming back down, eventually trying to get support at 8:30 open, midnight open, and then eventually displays to the upside, dragging price to the upside. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me to frame anything right now. So the plan here is to wait for the next 4 hour candle, which will be at 10 a.m. And eventually the macro, the 950 to 1010 macro, will give us more insights about what price really wants to do. Because right now I can't see anything, honestly. I can't see anything clear. It's kind of a high resistance, as you can see here. Um, it is a bullish order flow. It is, but kind of a hard resistance because price is um, retracing uh, a lot. So the plan here is honestly to wait for 950 and try to frame anything if the market gives us anything. Honestly, so at this point I will mark the 4 hour high and low as well. So this would be the 4 hour high. This would be the 4 hour low. So let's see if we got some kind of a purge to the upside or a continuation to the upside. Right now, price is trying to deliver higher prices. Um, we already got the 930 open here, and I'm just waiting for the first presented for value gap. As I mentioned before, you cannot consider this gap here the first presented for value gap. You shall wait for another presentation of another for value gap because this is the opening candle, the 930. So this one does not count um, for the first presented for value gap formation. So you have to wait for another displacement to the upside, leaving some imbalances. But yeah, the only thing that we can do right now is to wait. I honestly I honestly think that two things can eventually happen, or we continue inside this range, and price will continue just consolidating, or we might eventually do some kind of a Thank God it's Friday setup from ICT where price tend to retrace about 20 to 30% of the upside run that it took this week. So our job right now is simply to wait for something clear, just like a purge of buy side liquidity, a formation of a bearish structure, or eventually the opposite, a purge of some measure of sell side liquidity and a formation of something bullish, some bullish structure. But I'm more inclined for those two previous things that I said, or we will continue to consolidate, and eventually New York PM will give us um, better conditions, or we might come back to the upside, taking some buy side liquidity, and then displace to the downside, reaching for um, Asia lows. These relative equal lows is here as well. The low of the last 4 hour candle, which is this one, and eventually previous day low. But yeah, nothing is clear right now. I don't have a clear frame for what price wants to do right now. I have to be honest with you guys, honestly. I can't frame anything when price is behaving like this. We have to take in mind that the main draw was already taken. So here, as you can see, previous week high was already taken. So as soon as we take a major um, sell side or buy side liquidity point, um, it is permissible for price to start consolidating and eventually do some kind of a retrace. Um, a retrace would be some high resistance eventually, and a consolidation would be something normal since we already took a higher point of interest, which is the previous week's high. So price is just climbing to the upside here. Notice how it ran to the upside as soon as it opened at 8:30, which is always suspicious. This candle, as I said already, yeah, this is simply the market warning you that okay, yeah, I will treat yourself like a savage today, so uh, be aware of it. Um, and yeah, we are still waiting here for some kind of a first presented fair value gap. Let me just check in Q if it already forms some. I guess so. Yeah, on NQ we already have a first presented for value gap. It's right here at this candle, but ES was not willing to do the same. I will just mark this for value gap here on my other charts. I have NQ and other time frames in in some in some charts that I have next to this main one here. So price is still keeping its push to the upside. If you look at the 4 hour, you can see a lot of sell side uh, resting below all those lows. And let me just check the 1 hour as well. yeah, the 1 hour is trying to face this for value gap, the bearish one, which is this rectangle here, and yeah, it's trying to invert it. NQ already inverted. NQ is way stronger than ES right now. NQ is already doing some new highs, while ES is leaving this price action behind. Let me just check if NQ, yeah, it's far away. It's still far away from this high. So yeah, the only thing that we can do right now is to just wait for something clear to happen. Otherwise, it will be probably a boring session. I'm expecting a boring session, honestly. It's Friday. Price is inside a fair value gap, a daily one. Already took previous week's objective. So yeah, it might be a boring market today, and eventually something can eventually happen on the afternoon session, especially at the last hour of trading. Um, if nothing comes into place here at NYAM, we will probably have a last hour trading session quite I'm sorry, I just lost myself. Um, yeah, as I was saying, we will if nothing happens in the NYAM, we will probably have a last hour, a good last hour of trading session, but we really have to wait and see if this morning gives us something or not. So the first presented fair value gap here on ES is a bearish one so far. We still have to wait some seconds before this candle closes. Yeah, we got the first presented fair value gap here inside the N walk, which is this shaded area. Notice how price is stuck in between N walks, so these areas can eventually be some areas where price is reactive. Here, 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 in the middle of these two, we have event horizon, which can also be a point of reaction. Let me just check the candle sizes as well. So 2 handles for a candle. This one was the biggest one so far, so 5 handles. Yeah, we are playing some considerable ranges here. NQ seems like it's disrespecting the first presented fair value gap. So I would like to see if it holds or not. Notice how our price did not take any measure of buy side liquidity here. We just formed some more relative equal highs. We have relative equal highs here down below as well. So this is a type of market of a low probability market, since you have a 50% of chance for price to come here for these lows and a 50% of chance for price to come here to these highs. is retesting the 930 open. Seems like price will eventually try to grab some liquidity down here, say 30. And we are as well approaching the 950 macro. So we have still 6 minutes. Meanwhile, NQ disrespected the first presented for value gap. It's heading to the downside as well. And if you look at the 4-hour candle, this four-hour candle is what you don't want to see in a market, which is a candle with a body in the middle of it and a pretty big wick to the upside and a pretty big wick to the downside. So it means that price is really trying to consolidate and be a price which is a range bound price. Only 15 minutes. Price is inside a bearish fair value gap as well, just like this one on the 1 hour. Just notice how price just reversed right before taking these lows here. This is usually the type of environment of a low probability type condition of market where it leaves relative equal lows, it leaves relative equal highs, and then eventually decides to go for one of those. Let's see if 950 macro will cook anything. But honestly, I can't see anything right now. We'll just mark this fair value gap here. And see if we got this inversion or not. Yeah, so far working the 930 for value gap, respecting its body and its midpoint, but price is trying to get get above it and inside of it. Let me just check here another thing here. So NQ already took London lows. It did not take London Asia lows. I mean, just check here and one more thing here as well. So yeah, price rejected 50% of this wick 2 or 3 times, and it might be considerable to and acceptable for price not to come back to the to the upper 50% of this wick, since we got a clean rejection of it as soon as we touched the 50% of it. So we can eventually consider this a buy side clean, buy side liquidity clean, or purge, or whatever you want to call it. But since price is it's really too concentrated in this area, I cannot engage with it. So far, rejecting 930 open, respecting the inverted for value gap. And I would like to see how price will react as soon as it takes these lows here. All this liquidity here. I want to see how price will react as soon as it comes down here, because it will probably come down inside a macro, and eventually we can see a continuation to the downside, or the formation of a bullish structure and a push to the upside. So this might be eventually the time window and a place where your setup might be presented. Here we go. Price showing some strength right now, taking out these relative equal lows. Not quite as I would like to see, honestly. NQ is still far away from it, from these lows. ES really digging into them right now, and right now I would like to see if we have a continuation or if we have a reversal targeting these highs right here. If we have some kind of a reversal here, SMT and NQ would present an SMT on the 1 minute, which could give us some more confidence to a bullish movement to the upside. But so far nothing. The only thing that would eventually be clear was this entry here when price was trying to get inside of the inverted fair value gap but was not able to do it, and these lows were the cleanest drawn liquidity. But as you can see, that was not worth it. It would be something like this, giving some space to some room to the market, and would not eventually get a 2R. So there we go. These lows were taking, prices displacing to the upside inside the macro hour, respecting 8:30 open, trying to get above 9:30 open as well. I will just zoom in a little bit. This candle here should be eventually our breaker if we are correct with the bullish side of price. And now I would like to see price does respect the inverted fair value gap, and then eventually give us some kind of an entry here like this. But I need another push to the upside for this to be considerable and considerate this structure. Just let me check NQ, what NQ is doing. Yeah, I would like to see NQ head a little bit to the upside as well. So far, the breaker is holding, and 9:30 open is holding as well. But it's not a, honestly, it's not a clean setup. Let's see if we can get a push from price to get above the breaker and eventually above the inverted fair value gap here. Otherwise, we can eventually consider a continuation to the downside, taking even more liquidity here, or just a consolidation like I was expecting like I was saying in the beginning of the stream. We need some kind of displacement to the upside. And then eventually a retrace that would put us in a long position. There we go. We got price and ES trying to get above the inverted fair value gap. The breaker held. So let's see if we can get a retrace here. The first presented fair value gap should eventually work as a resistance, making price come back to our entry point, or price can eventually shoot to the upside, just respecting completely the first presented fair value gap, and that would make things a little bit trickier for an entry. Yeah, we'll try here. This is here, probably here. We'll put my limit order right at the top of the inverted for value gap, giving some room for price. Yeah, I almost got tagged in here. Almost. Kind of funny when things like that happens. Yeah, 0.25. Let's see, I will wait a bit more if price really wants to let me in. Thank you, Ruben. Seems like we are in the same page, right? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I will get tagged in here. I just missed the entry for 0 0.7, 0 0.25. Uh, it's always a shame when things like this happens, but yeah, I'm just content with my analysis, honestly. I will not chase it. I will not force anything here, since like we are still inside a bearish 1 hour for value gap. We kind of rejected the midpoint of the daily one, which is the bigger rectangle here. This one. Yeah, but it was kind of a clean movement here. Was expecting something like this, and as soon as I saw that NQ and ES presented some kind of a SMT, I was more convinced about the move to the upside, honestly. The trick here was to wait for 950 and 1010 to present something. And now this should be the low hanging fruit where you can eventually take some partials. Your first buy side liquidity, which are relative equal highs. If you want, you can stretch things to the 4 hour candle high here. And let me just check where the market is, honestly. And taking some projections, you can eventually stretch things as well to the NWOG, to the lower band of the NWOG. But I don't know, honestly. Price is taking some time here as well on the first presented for value gap. And Q already inverted it. It's like retesting it. Let's see if we can get another move to the downside here, take it in. So now I would like to see price coming back down, back inside the first presented for value gap. Not taking much time here. Let me just put my stop loss as well. So it will give some room. And my take profit as well. So I will manage this while the market is running. I will try to manage it. Yo, Gorilla, how you doing? Same trade? Okay. Let's see if price can handle it, honestly. These are tough conditions. So we will see if it really works out or not. But yeah, everything's into place, honestly. Right now, I'm not liking how we respected the first presented for value gap, but it's kind of permissible for letting price come back to the breaker. And we got a nice reaction from it. So right now, the only thing that's missing, honestly, it's not a push to the upside, taking out the first presented for value gap. Otherwise, we can eventually come back and eventually come back a little bit lower. And that's what I would not like to see. Let's see if we can get another push. And this would be if price is able to close above the first presented for value gap, it would form some kind of a an order block here, which would be eventually. I will consider this candle here because it's the lowest. So this would be our order block here. In fact, the order block it's the are these three candles, the bearish ones. But since this one is the lowest, I will give some room for price to dig into the order block. It's healthy for a normal price action to dig into 50% of it. And notice how price really is struggling with the first presented for value gap here. So we have a lot of roadblocks here. We have the NWOG. We have the first presented for value gap. We have the top of the bearish 1 hour for value gap. And yeah, those are a lot of roadblocks for price to break through. But so far everything is according to plan. It's moving according to plan. So No panic. Yeah, price really struggling to close above the first presented for value gap here. Once again, not able to assume a close above it. Retesting the order block. Let me just mark here the next macro, which is the 1050 to 1110. As I've been saying in previous streams, sometimes, sometimes and usually, when a bullish leg or a bearish leg starts at the 950 macro, it can eventually extend to the next one. So price can eventually continue its way up to the upside until 1050. So that's why I'm just marking the 1050 macro here. Yeah, but notice how price is really struggling to close above it. Not liking how price is really acting here. Coming down, trying to disrespect the order block. Touching the inverted fair value gap once again. Yeah, it rejected the midpoint of the analog here in a clean way. I would say that price is too thick right now. It's a it's undoubtedly a high resistance condition here. It was not able even to reach the low hanging fruit, which are these relative equal highs. These were our low hanging fruits, the first targets for partials, and I kind of missed it. And yeah, digging into the breaker once again. Took the low here. NQ doing the same. NQ it's mumbling around the first presented for value gap. ES left it behind already. Let's see if 930 holds here. Otherwise, we might get to see lower prices. At this point, I'm just waiting for some kind of a bullish reaction. Seems like, yes, is really having a hard time to get out of this consolidation box. Yeah, and Q is heading lower as well. You're not liking how price is really trying to get below the breaker, honestly. I still believe in higher prices as well. But yeah, the prices, as you can see, it's not clean enough, and it might eventually consolidate, like I was saying in the first minutes of the stream, or seek for sell side liquidity. Was not able even it was not even able to get to these relative equal highs here, and there we go. We got stopped out here. So yeah, it was a nice try here, but price didn't deliver as we were expecting, honestly. Mm. Yeah, price was facing really a hard time here. At the first presented for value gap, it should have been a red flag here, um, eventually to protect our position. And right now, price is trying to take more lows. Mm. There we go, displacing to the downside. And now seeking for something lower, probably these relative lows here. But at the same time, price really made some new relative highs here, which are always suspicious. All these highs here. So price came back to midnight open. It disrespected, and I'm sorry, it kind of disrespected the 8:30 open here, midnight open, and eventually 9:30 open as well. So at this point, since like it couldn't deliver high prices here and could not eventually go back above the first presented fair value gap, I I might have to consider lower sell side here on the 4 hour. Yeah, we respected the year. The fair value gap was kind of a clean response to the fair value gap here. It really was kind of tricky. Yeah, the 1 hour didn't give us anything as well. Let me just check the 15 minute. Yeah, the 15 minute didn't give us anything as well. So we don't have any type of buy side liquidity purge or a short trigger. So but yeah, at this point, it's kind of obvious that we will eventually get for this week here, and sell side liquidity is the 4 hour candle low. Let me just check the 3 minute here. Price trying to reach for midnight open here, and this order block as well. Which is a bearish one. Yeah, and Q is heading for lower prices as well. Yes, just displacing to the downside. Yeah, this was kind of a shame here. I was expecting at least relative equal highs here. Um, and price did not reach it. And so far we have a clean run to the downside. As long as soon as we inverted this fair value gap once again, I was kind of suspicious that this could eventually happen. I was not liking how price came back to the breaker, and this was a nice clean run to the downside here. Note how price reacted to the analog, to the midpoint of it, and then displaced to the downside, to the next analog. I guess this was some kind of a Judas swing, enticing a lot of players to go long, me included. Yeah, we missed it. We really missed it. Yeah, at this point, things are quite possible for Asia low. Let me just check here the last swing high, which is this one. Yeah, price already. We can eventually consider this one as well if we want lower targets, just like previous day low. And looking at the speed of price, we might eventually come out of this daily fair value gap and see for previous day low. At this point, it might be possible. Well, price was really not that clean, honestly. There was no SMT on the upside, as far as I can see. Yeah, it was not no SMT. There was no real purge of liquidity. I was talking about the fact that price stopped right at 50% of this wick, so this could eventually be the purge of liquidity, of buy side liquidity. Sometimes it is permissible for price just to go for 50% of the wick instead of going for the full wick. So that might be the thing that we missed here. Otherwise, I would not have gone for a bullish setup. So the last 4-hour candle low was taken. These relative equal lows as well. And we still have Asia lows. So right now, let's see if this end walk gives us some kind of resistance to the upside. We have this massive bearish for value gap here as well. So right now we have two resistance, which is the end walk and the fair value gap here. The thing is that we already took sell side as the 4-hour candle low. Demanding more downside can eventually be tricky. But if we see that these bearish PD arrays are being respected, we might consider lower prices until previous day low. But if we start to see these PD arrays being reverted, we can eventually consider price to come for these highs here. So far, we have to wait a little bit more. Well, if you guys are liking the stream so far, give it a like and if you like this type of content, just subscribe to the channel as well. It will help a lot in terms of engagement and gathering some more guys here, trying to build a community as well. That way we will eventually learn a bit faster. Let me just check the 3 minutes here. Yeah, seems like we are primed to do another leg down here. But I really want to see something clearer. But yeah, no bullish, no bullish strength here. I would eventually attempt this short here. The only thing that's preventing me from taking this short is that we already took 4-hour sell side low. But yeah, we will. We will see if we will have the previous day low as targets. It's quite a stretch target, honestly. Looking into the 4-hour chart. But as long as it mitigates our first loss, I will be content with it. So the thing that I was talking about, the movements from macro to macro. So 950. Oh, I have it here. So 950 started the bearish move. We were inclined for a bullish move. We were kind of enticed here, and eventually it will go to 1050. So I will give it some time. As soon as price arrives here at -2 standard deviation, I will take the majority out. So not market sell, but I mean, yeah, I will do it manually, honestly. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Was not a perfect entry here, but the perfect entry would be somewhere near the bearish for valley gap. Let me just check where NQ is. So NQ took some new low of a 4 hour candle already. ES is it's reaching for it. Let's see if we can get our partial build here. So reaching for the partial here at -2 standard deviation, which usually is a rule of thumb here. Honestly, taking partials at -2 standard deviation, you can eventually stretch it to -2.5, but it would be advisable for you to take partials here. And partials did not fill for about half an handle. So kind of boring situation here. I'm probably demanding a too precise movement of price here when price is not willing to be so precise. Let's see if it will do another run to the downside here. Otherwise, I will take those partials. Damn it. Yeah, so far we have this fair value gap here to be tested. We have the order block here as well, which is where we have our entry. I would not like to see price come here. Yeah, ES took um, the other 4-hour candle low as well as NQ, and it almost reached my take profit here. Let me just check what NQ is doing on the 1 minute. I'm just waiting for another stretch to the downside here. I believe we still have some room to go to the downside. But honestly, price is trying to retest higher bearish PD arrays here. It missed the partials for, I don't know, 0.25, which is always annoying when your partials did not get filled for about that measure of handles. So price came back to the order block here. Nice reaction so far from the order block. Let me just check once again the 3 minutes here. So the 3 minute just did a retest of this fair value gap, which is kind of permissible. And now I would like to see some kind of a continuation to the downside. We'll give some more time to price, but I believe we will continue a little bit lower. Should have taken these partials here. Honestly, was kind of greedy here, but it is what it is. We just have to face it right now. The 4-hour candle is kind of retracing to the upside at this point, leaving a big tail. Not a perfect scenario, honestly. Yeah, price digging into the order block here. As I said, this is not a perfect scenario. Partial should have been taken here. The order did not fill. It did not fill the order for about a quarter of a handle, which is always a shame when things like that happen. Um, but I had some opportunities here to do it manually. I guess I was some kind of greedy. But let's see how price reacts here at the order block. We are still inside of a 3 minute fair value gap, a bearish one as well. We still have 4 minutes for the next macro as well. So right now I would like to see this fair value gap um, be treated as a bearish one and not acting as support on price to come back above. Let's see if we can treat that fair value gap as a bearish one. This one here. But yeah, price is stalling here a bit. The entry was not perfect at all, as you might see. It was still inside the order block, but it should have been taken the short here inside the fair value gap. And yes, price is not willing to treat that fair value gap as a bearish one. So it is inevitable for price to come eventually to the bearish fair value gap here, the upper one. Well, this is really what you have to have in mind as soon as your position is in profit. You really have to do something. If you let things just run like I did, um, you might end up losing a winning position. This was a winning position. I should have taken profits here. Um, so this should be a lesson for everybody, honestly. Still working the order block here, but I guess price is trying to reach for support and trying to treat that order block as something that will support price. See, price is really going for this fair value gap here. It reached the NWOG as well, this shaded area. But yeah, this should be a lesson for everybody. Don't get greedy and try to get your partials as soon as you can, especially when price is behaving like it is today. If you look into the 4 hour, you can see that there's no clean direction. So price is just consolidating back and forth, back and forth. So this could eventually be a signal that I should have taken partials as soon as possible, especially on low hanging fruits. Let me just check the 3 minute once again. Yeah, the 3 minute it's inside this bearish fair value gap. It's retesting the 3 minute order block here, which is this candle. Um, it's retesting the original fair value gap as well. So yeah, nothing is out of a bearish context, but yeah, it might be frustrating, and it might trigger you some emotions that you should not feel whenever you're in a trade, just like frustration and greediness, and I don't know. We should always protect ourselves as soon as we have our objectives met, and as said, as long as I was mitigating my loss, I would be content. But as soon as price reached here so quickly, my state of mind just shifted right away and was seeking for some more profits. You have to have that in mind. You have to be disciplined enough to take action and not waiting for price to do something. Yeah, once again, we got the rejection on the NWOG, which is this shaded area. But right now, price is trying to treat this fair value gap here as an inverted one. So far, it is, which is not great. I would like to see some kind of displacement to the downside below that yellow fair value gap. I'm sorry. Notice how we are approaching. I mean, we are inside the 1050 macro already. I misplaced this one, honestly. Yeah, I misplaced this. Should have stretched it a little bit more to the left. So we are inside a macro for about 5 minutes now. I haven't noticed it. So this should be the time of some kind of an inversion, which is the new macro, or the continuation to the downside, eventually seeking for previous day low. This is what I would like to see, honestly. Um, but price is really treating this inverted fair value gap as an inverted one, and I'm not liking how price is just not able to disrespect bullish PD arrays. Once again, guys, if you dare, just hit the like button. For those who are not subscribed to the channel or do not follow me, you can follow me on my socials. Um, I do streams on YouTube, on Twitch as well. So you can eventually watch me here on YouTube or on Twitch. And yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm a full-time trader. I'm just reassessing my mental state. That's why you can see that I'm trading demo. And as you can see, I've done here some mistakes still. That's why I'm reassessing everything that's mental related before heading to the combines or the funded accounts. That's why I'm trading demo for the last couple of days. I will eventually trade demo. This might be eventually my last week. I still have some reassessments to do, but yeah, we'll probably be back to the to combines on Tuesday eventually. So if you guys like this type of streams, and or if you really learn something from them, yeah, just give it a like and follow me if you don't mind as well, so that way you can eventually um, follow my everyday streams here and eventually learn something from what I'm doing, and eventually I can learn something from you too, because I believe that in trading we are always learning. Yeah, price is really pushing to the upside here. My position will probably get stopped out here, since I have a tight stop loss right above the fair value gap. On the 15-minute, we formed a big fair value gap, so it is permissible for price to retest that fair value gap. Usually inside that fair value gap there is an order block, so the order block is this one, so it is permissible for price to come to this order block, which would trigger my stop. And yeah, it would eventually come to this order block, and then go back down. But at that point, I would be stopped out, honestly. So my expectations on this short uh, are quite small, honestly. Right now, the main action was missed here. I should have taken these partials manually and not try to be too precise with it. But yeah, sometimes it happens, and you just have to deal with it. There's nothing you can do right now. Yeah, see, price is really pushing higher here. There's a fly. So if you guys know someone else who's trading as well, just invite them to the channel. The more people there is, the better, I guess. That way, we would eventually form some kind of a community, um, learning with each other and just interact with each other. Since being a trader is always kind of lonely, yeah, and you just look at charts all day and look at minor fluctuations. It's kind of a boring and tedious action, you know. There we go. Price is really digging to the upside here. So eventually I will get stopped out. Um, and yeah, it was my fault here. I should have taken these partials as soon as they were offered to me. Uh, I don't mind being wrong here, but I don't. I really mind to not to take these partials here, honestly. But yeah, it is what it is. Uh, we learn from mistakes, I guess. There we go. And got stopped out. Was kind of naive here, honestly. But yeah, things like this happens, and we just have to be able to work with them and to get better every day. Sometimes it's not easy, um, and sometimes it gets frustrating, honestly. You know, because this was a winning position. The first one was also a winning position, and yeah, I guess I didn't protect myself here. I was kind of naive. Well, at this point, there is nothing more that I can do. I already took two trades. Should have not gone for the second one, but since we are demoing, it's okay. So at this point, I think I will eventually end the stream as well. There's nothing that we can do here right now besides journaling the mistakes from today's action and eventually getting better, you know. So the first one, just resuming the trades from today's action. The first one, I thought that we would go for these relative equal highs here, right inside the 950 macro. I kind of felt strange when price was not able to get above the first presented fair value gap. If you go into the stream, you will hear me saying that. And as soon as we inverted this this fair value gap, yeah, then I assumed that okay, I will probably get stopped out. Should have protected myself as soon as we faced the first presented fair value gap. But I mean, here it was fine. It was fine. The second one was kind of a tricky one, since it was honestly it was a winning trade. Partials, I limited my partials to -2 standard deviation, and price stopped right before those partials. It left about 0.25 handles in difference, and then returned back down, back up. At this point, I was kind of hoping that okay, we will eventually go lower here, but then price really came up once again, and yeah, this one was kind of a rookie mistake, honestly. But yeah, I just allowed it since we are demoing, as you can see here, because otherwise I would not have taken the second trade. Conditions were not met here totally. But yeah, was quite a morning with some mistakes. We'll definitely journal them and eventually getting better. It's like a day-to-day job where you can eventually do some mistakes today. Tomorrow you will avoid them. But yeah, it's always tricky. So guys, for those who are watching, just hit the like button. I will end the stream soon. Thank you for being there. It honestly makes things a bit more a bit more fulfilling when we have an audience. And yeah, thank you for being there. I really appreciate that. If you're not following me, you can follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, or eventually TikTok. I will post some shorts and some clips about today's stream, and I hope to see you next Monday. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Have a nice Friday's afternoon and a nice weekend as well. So, see you Monday. Thank you.